Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more gut feeling stories. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was walking down my street at a little after dusk. I saw a van approaching a little ahead, no lights on. Didn't think much of it due to the time of day. The van slowed down and almost started creeping as I was approaching this part of the sidewalk, which had a tall solid wall fence to a community. This gave me some pause in that quick moment. For me to keep walking, I'd have to go between the wall and the van. In the little time it took me to take a couple of steps, and as the van was getting close, I noticed that the side door was slowly sliding open. The one thought in my mind was, why isn't the light turning on inside the van? When you open the door of a vehicle, the light should come on inside it, unless you deliberately switch that off. And I just ran to the median. I ran in front of the van and I crossed the street, because if they're gonna have some use of roadkill, me, have at it. But they're not getting me in one glorious piece. Immediately, the van took off like someone lit it on fire, from a slow crawl to full speed. As I looked after it to see the plates, I noticed it had no plates, and still no lights. I called the police, of course. They sent cars out and didn't find the van. I never had anything like this happen again, and I'm just an ordinary person, so I don't suspect it was targeted. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's freaking scary. Dude, every single van is sus, I swear. When a van goes slow, suspicious. Like, there's been a time where I was walking Coco and the van just freaking stops in front of us. And nobody got out. So I was just standing there with Coco being like, are you gonna go or am I gonna go? Like, what the hell? Because I don't want to keep walking in case the freaking door opens and grabs me. So yeah, in that situation, just walk the other way. I mean, it honestly could have just been something innocent, like someone was delivering a parcel or something. But like, why are you not getting out? Anyways, it's just the way we have to overthink. Listen to my body twice. I started having painful period-like cramps, so I made an appointment with my gynecologist the next day. They immediately gave me an ultrasound and discovered a grapefruit-sized tumor where my ovaries should have been. Certain it was cancer. I was in surgery days later. Thankfully, all the cancer was encapsulated in the tumor, so no chemo was necessary. I did have to go on an estrogen patch though. A year later, I was sitting in my bathtub and reached out for a towel. Felt a weird pain in my left breast. I knew it was cancer. I immediately put off the estrogen patch and then went in for a mammogram first thing the next morning. A few days later, I was having a bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction, which I had insisted on because it was my second cancer diagnosis. The two cancers were unrelated. My doctor wanted me to have radiation, but I insisted that I never again wanted to tell my daughters that I had cancer. After my surgery, my tumor was tested and it was determined to be highly recurrent and aggressive. Even though the cancer had not spread into my lymph nodes, I went through 20 rounds of harsh chemo in the hopes it would never ever come back. Thankful to say I will celebrate being cancer-free for 5 years. Dude, happy for them. But damn, they're a freaking warrior, man. Jeez. 1 year apart and you have two unrelated cancers. Yo, that's messed up. Always hated the dad scout leader in my area growing up. Just seemed like a real creep. Hated seeing him at community events, soccer games, back to school nights, etc. 10-year-old me staged a hissy fit to end all meltdowns with me slamming doors, crying, and breaking shit to avoid being moved from Cub Scouts, where the mum ran things to avoid Boy Scouts. Turns out the scout leader was molesting 3 or 4 of the boys in the troop and threatening to kill them if they ever spoke. Justice found him and he's in prison. Good. I hope his prison inmates treat him well. I get really bad vibes from the car park in work. It's a giant poorly lit multi-story, and I've seen enough horror films to know I shouldn't be taking it lightly. Whenever I get in, I pay attention to the floors people call the lift to keep an eye on where they're going. One time, a guy got in front of me and pressed 6 while I was parked on 8. He didn't get out at 6 and was still in the lift as I got to my floor. I leave, he doesn't. I guess he's remembered he's on another floor. But just before I get to the dark area with all the cars, I turn back. This guy had waited about 30 seconds, therefore held the lift to wait, and silently emerged to follow me. I just stopped and stared him down. He had a deer in the headlights look and turned straight back to the lift. I have no idea if it saved my life, but it freaked me the F out. Dude, so many stories where they're like, just stare at them and the other person gets scared. Honestly, just be scarier than the person who wants to scare you. After a party many years ago, I was driving home at like 4 a.m. with my friend passed out in the passenger seat. I was driving fast down a steep hill that's like half a mile long, at least. I was on autopilot as I drive down that street every day. Suddenly, about a half a block from a major intersection, which I had a green light for, a voice in my head said in these exact words, "You may want to slow down because if you don't, you might lose your life." It was weird because that's not how I talk. Anyway, I slowed down, and as I was entering the intersection, a car blew the red light at about 50 to 60 miles right in front of me. It was so close that I nearly threw up. I started shaking and punching my friend, yelling how I just saved our lives. He just groaned and went back to sleep. Damn, an angel was literally sitting on their shoulders, man. That's crazy. This is why before you hit the gas, you just gotta look. Just wait a bit first. My ex-husband had a friend who I just didn't like, although I could never explain why. He was very handsome, always smiling, very respectful speech. Always called me ma'am or miss, even though he's a few years older than us. Sorry, that would be like something that I would think was weird too. I mean, even though it's so polite, it's just so like, it just sounds so fake. You know those kind of people where you're like, oh my god, everyone likes them, but like, they just seem so fake. You know, like there's a difference between someone being nice and someone who's genuinely kind, right? And that's just the vibe, like, you're just acting nice. That's weird. My ex used to give me shit for expressing my feelings about this guy. I was never rude to him when he'd stop by, but I did have trouble hiding my creeped out vibe. Fast forward to 3 years later, guy is convicted of indecent liberties and statutory rape of his girlfriend's daughter. Oh my gosh. There it freaking is. It's always the people who are like so perfect. A few years ago, I was at a bar with a couple of friends. All was good. We were drinking and having fun. All of a sudden, we heard this discussion taking place just a couple of tables from us. Two guys decided to have a shouting threat match. I stopped everything to pay attention to them. My friends were making fun of me, saying I was gossipy. One of the guys in the discussion got up and left. Immediately after he left, I told my friends we had to go. Now, they didn't get why I was like that, but I'm their friend since forever. They reluctantly agreed. The next day, the news were talking about a bar fight. Apparently, the guy who got up went home, grabbed a gun, and came back for a drive-by. Killed 4 people in the process. My grandpa taught me to never ignore my gut, and I couldn't be happier to have listened. Dude. That's so sad. Like, what kind of person are you that you get into an argument and then you just decide to get your gun and shoot everyone? Seriously. I mean, I hope he's in prison forever, right? Oh my gosh. This happened to my mum when she was pregnant with my older sister. Her and her family decided to go hiking in the mountains. On the day of the hike, she suddenly felt discomfort and uncomfortable, so she stayed behind while the rest of her family went for a hike. Her family got lost, and if it wasn't for my mum staying behind, they wouldn't have gotten help. Keep in mind that there was no cell phones back then, so if you got lost, it was a lot harder to contact rescue to come and find you. Oh my gosh, it's always the mums. Seriously, and mum instincts are different. Just different. This is why you should always listen to your mum. Like, if she tells you, you better bring your jacket, you bring your jacket. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!